So Dave, one of the things that changes in digital is this whole idea of the way that you message and who receives that message and how it's interacted with. So perhaps you can talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, sure. I think it's one of the big opportunities of digital, that once someone's interacting with you on on your website or in social media or email, you can deliver those really personalised, targeted messages. And I think, as with a lot of aspects of digital, it's people aren't making use of them, really. So just some examples of what you can do. On the website, of course, you can deliver personalised panels and containers, but really they're often used mainly in retailers. So we've all seen the Amazon personal recommendations, but you could be a business-to-business organisation. If someone's looking at a particular bit of content, you can recommend a next piece of content or encourage someone to sign up. So that's on the website. Then you've also got remarketing, where if someone's visited a particular part of the website, you can use Google to deliver a message elsewhere on the web to encourage someone to return. That's being used more and more, the AdWords remarketing, so I'd recommend that. And then with email as well, personalised messages work well. A good example of what you can do there to start quickly is, I think most people, when someone signs up for a newsletter or subscribes to get a download, they'll send out a welcome email, and it might be just "thank you for subscribing." But the smart way to do it is to put some dynamic content in there which works out the type of person and deliver relevant messages. So for smart insights, if we recognise that someone's, say, a digital marketing manager as against an agency owner, they'll get a different email recommending that relevant personal content.
So one area is obviously the personalisation of the content. What about in terms of reach? Once you start getting into social platforms and the opportunities there with, conversations and other things like that, how do you see that working for businesses?
Yeah, I think with social media, there's a lot of advertising programs available now, and of course Facebook is going to be the primary for most consumer businesses and even business to business as well. So you should look at your options for expanding your audience through Facebook. So with lookalike audiences, for example, you can upload details of the profile of your current customers and then send more tailored ads to find similar people. And then there's the remarketing on Facebook as well. So it's worth considering. I'd have to say that the volumes that you're likely to get from Facebook, or if you're in business to business, LinkedIn, they can be quite low, because there's a lot of competition for attention, and people, as they're using social media, they're not necessarily going to click on the links. So it's worth looking at, but don't expect the world.
And how would a business go about starting to utilise some of these tools, do you think?
Well, I think you've got to look at where your audience are and prioritise, because they're often not cheap, these the social network ads. So with LinkedIn, for example, you could be paying £2 to £3, euros for an individual click. So although that's the obvious place to start for B2B, it may be on Twitter or Facebook, you'll have a lower cost per click. So it's this balance of where your audience are and the return on investment that you'll get. So I'd say start by testing the main 3 or 4 networks, the ones I've mentioned there, and then once you see what's working, build on that.